This is the Night Owls Disc Golf Podcast, a Disc Golf Answer Man Network podcast. This is a shorter format. We're just going to go quickly. We're going to try to release some of these every Monday or so, but these will be quicker, anywhere between 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah, something like that.
Appropriate, yep. Yeah. We're making it up as we go, so bear with us. What we're going to do in this one is, if you care, and if you don't, I guess we're going to do it anyway, so it's not going to stop us. We're going to go through what's in our bags. So I am a middle to top level MA1 player. I'm 940-ish. I don't exactly know where I am at the present moment, and this is my bag. So I start out with a Judge, and that's it. So I have a Judge. I have the Page Shoe Lucid X Judge, and I have two, they're actually Prime Burst Judges, bottom stamped, and love them. And if you putt with any other putter, you're wrong.
Oh,
so, yeah.
Okay.
Mr. What are you putting with right now?
P2s.
Yeah, you're wrong.
No.
And if you putt with any putter without a bead, you're wrong. Stabling up a little bit, so our approach or overstable putter, I run a Tactic. It's actually a Casey White Tactic, and I also have a Razor Claw 2. Razor Claw 2 is significantly more overstable than the Casey White Tactic. And then going on to, I guess we're going to dabble in the mid-range. Justice is my overstable. And it's a Moonshine Justice with one of our Door Disc Golf stamps on it. It's pretty beat in, still overstable. I have, currently, I'm bagging two Comets. I have a Big Z Comet that is beat to heck. I've had it for a long, long time. Has some dog bites in it, sun faded, but it's the Big Z stamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it does have some puncture wounds and all that stuff. I don't technically think it's PDGA approved anymore.
Probably not. It doesn't sound like it would be.
It's not a legal disc anymore, but I do bag that one, and I do have another Big Z that I put in for tournaments. But I have a Big Z Comet and the 2021 MJ Comet. And then I bag two EMACs. I bag a Lucid X EMAC, and I bag a Chameleon EMAC. So Chameleon EMAC's a straight to understable, but more straight than anything. Mm-hmm. And then the EMAC, Lucid X EMAC is overstable. Or Fusion X EMAC is overstable. And then I bag two FDs currently. I bag a second run FD, and then I bag a regular C-Line FD, original. And then a Felon for my overstable. I have a Fluid Enforcer Sparkle or Glimmer. Well, I don't know whatever they name it as, Metal Flake. And it's a green, and it is a meat hook. I threw it in front of one of our team members, Ken Behenemo.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh my goodness, what did you just throw?" I said, "Well, it's Fluid Enforcer." And he goes, "I've never seen a disc that wanted to get to the ground so quickly." I use it. It is a novelty disc. I have it in my bag specifically for the Devil's Sphincter on our local course. Specifically for that hole and that hole only. Because it is a hard hook up to the left, and you need a big skip to get close to the basket.
Yep.
So that's the only reason I have it in there. My main drivers are ballistas. I've tried to do Trespass. I've tried to do, any popular disc. Wraiths I was good with. Ballistas, it's a Speed 14, I know that. And I've tried to rationalize dropping down in speeds because of my arm, but I throw the ballistas very well.
Yeah.
So I have two ballistas in my bag right now. One is just a standard Lucid. One is an old school red, sparkly. It's fairly overstable. But it's one that I've beaten it in so well. Like I said, I've had it for about 6 years, I think. I've beaten it in so well that I can throw it on any line and it holds it. And it's actually surprisingly stable still for a ballista. I can put it on hyzer, it'll pop up to flat and finish flat.
Okay.
It does not finish. It's fantastic. I love that disc. If I ever lose it, I might cry. Literally might cry. I have a Lucid one, which is a lot less stable. It's a Door Disc Golf Owl Snap. It's blue, and I like it. And then I will hopefully be adding a Daryl J. Dyes owl snapped one, but that'll be soon.
Okay.
And then I carry the Puking Rainicorn, or Rainicorn. It's a Rainicorn, the Puking Unicorn Raider. And that is a white Lucid Raider. No, it's Fusion. Excuse me, it's Fusion. And no, it's Lucid. It's white, whatever it is. Like that disc, it is overstable, and if I need to put it on in any sort of headwind or anything like that, that's the one that I'm probably going to pull out.
Okay.
And I put it on a decent amount of hyzer because I have found that with Raiders, if I put them flat, they turn. So I just put it out there on hyzer. And I think outside of that, I bag an Enigma off and on, and I think currently it is in the bag.
Okay.
So that's about it. Oh,
Nice.
no, I lie. I have a Hades in the bag as well.
Oh.
But that was just because it had Paul's name on it, and I wanted to throw it, and it was
Yeah.
cool looking. So it's in the bag. I don't know if it's going to stay in the bag for tournaments. So
Okay. Interesting.
That's mine.
All right. I'll start with mine. We're going to start with putters. So I putt with the new Flex 2, which is the stock run of the P2s. I like the feel of the plastic. Before I was putting with the Senseis, Discmania Senseis, which were really good, but hard to find the right weights because the weights aren't on the discs for the Act Line anymore. So finding max weight Senseis was pretty hard at the time. And every once in a while I might cycle in like a D-line or D-blend alpaca from Infinite because it's pretty much the same.
it's a P2.
It's a P2, yeah. My throwing putter is a Thought Space Athletics Ethos Praxis. It's a fairly new mold from them. I just like the feel of the plastic. It's nice. It's kind of like a Lucid Champ style.
Okay. What does the disc remind you of? I'm not
The
familiar with
numbers on it are 3301, I believe.
it. Beaded?
Non-beaded.
Non-beaded, okay.
No. So, kind of reminds me of. I was throwing. I mean, it feels close to a kind of like a Logic almost.
Okay.
Or the Sensei.
Or the Sensei, okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
just, but a little more bevel to it.
Okay.
Yeah. And so moving on, my approach disc is a Crystal Flex Get Freaky Zone.
All right.
Yeah, not the $500 Get Freaky Zones, just the regular stock Get Freaky Crystal Flex. I love it for forehands, really comfortable in the hand for me. Doesn't get a lot of skip, it just kind of sticks, which I like. And then I will also throw a Brian Earhart Bearheart Zone as well. I have about 4 of those that I'll cycle.
Let me
in
back
there.
up to the Get Freaky.
Okay.
Mr. Skeptic. Brody Smith is good. That's all. Go ahead.
Tyler admitted to me.
Mr. Skeptic.
Mr. Skeptic admitted to me that he has a Get Freaky Zone.
Okay.
Respect.
Okay.
But yeah. Okay,
Okay, carry on.
beyond that, okay. And then, kind of for my utility disc, I have a Moonshine X Justice.
Oh, yeah. Was it one of the springtime ones, or did you get it?
I got this at DDO. It's from the store, Another Round.
Okay, yep.
They were coming out with this special Moonshine X at DDO last year. So I picked up 2 of those. And then for my understable mid-range, I throw the Geo Origin, which is like really base plastic from Discmania. It was released in one of the mystery boxes last year. So I held on to that. Didn't pick any more up. But then I also will be throwing the Kyle Klein Midnight Prowl, the Meta Origin, which is really nice. It's a little more stable. Really good for hyzer flips up to flat, really nice.
Okay.
And then my stable mid range is a ESP Buzz and a Z Buzz.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Which I never threw no, I threw both. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you said Big Z. I was like, I didn't know they had Big Z.
yeah,
Okay.
no. You guys have a Big Z Buzz in the store. It's yellow and it's got a big hornet on it, and it's got like heart foil on.
I've still never thrown it.
Go look, it's in the store.
All right.
Yeah. And then my overstable is the Neo Mutant, which I got two of, which are really beefy. Like not as beefy as a Justice, but beefy enough.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so
Like
I was
wasp beefy or
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I was throwing the Wasp before. It might even be a little more beefy than the Wasp.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then going to fairways, I throw the Night Strike 2. Big fan of the Night Strike 2. I actually bought it off of Nate Perkins which was pretty awesome.
that's
Dempsey and I
awesome.
both got them.
One of my favorite discs. It's an FD.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't
It
know, it's
is.
a Color Glow FD.
Yep.
Right? They're glow.
Yep. Yeah.
Just they're awesome discs.
Yeah. Truly awesome. And then I also throw the FD2 or the Royal Rage, which is also Color Glow. Sea Line plastic.
And not to be confused with the second run FD. This is an FD2.
FD2, yes, yes. And then I will also throw the Royal Rage 2, which is different than the actual Royal Rage because the Royal Rage 2 is an instinct. The mold changed. It's a vapor.
And it's a Leo
plastic.
Pyrenin.
Leo Pyrenin, yep.
We actually have one or two left still.
Really?
Yeah, I don't understand why those ones didn't move.
That's surprising.
It is very surprising.
there's-
So if you want them, they're blue.
They're solid discs. Yeah, I have a blue and a purple. And then I throw the Essence, which Neo, and the Zen, which is also Nate Perkins disc this year that just came out a little while ago. And the Zen is just a tad bit more stable than the regular Neo run, which
Okay.
I like. I mean, I got it and threw it in wind. It was pretty good compared to the Neo, but yeah, that other one's just a little flippier. And then FD3, which I'm either going to keep in the bag because I've thrown it for a long time, but I'm also might be switching over to the Infinite Disc Scepter, which is a Firebird kind of clone. I have I have two Metal Flake Glow that are pretty sweet, nice and flat. So haven't had a chance to throw them yet, but I might be working those into the bag.
Nice.
And then I throw kind of in like a hybrid slot the PD, Sea Line, and then I also I've thrown the Colt Montgomery Lone Hull and Lone Hull 2. So those, I don't throw the Lone Hulls anymore because I've lost one or two and I don't want to lose any more. I have a good supply of them, but I just don't want to lose them. And then lastly, for my distance drivers, I have a standard stock run of S-Line DD3. It's one that's really lightweight, so I'll only use that. It's like tailwind disc, bomber disc. I have an Echo DD3, which is the recycled plastic, but really hard to come by. Like, you really ever see them. I see them for sale secondary market, and they're pretty expensive. But
Sure.
I have two of those that are mid to high 160s, I believe. So I'll throw that. And then I also have a Cloudbreaker 2 that I haven't thrown a ton, but I put it in the bag because it's more stable than the Echo DD3. So it's just a little more stable. I had fooled around with like the Enforcer or something like that. I have a PD2 if I really need it for really strong headwind situations, and it's beefy. Like there's no getting around that.
I feel like even stock run enforcers, or I've found that even stock run enforcers are much more stable than DD3s. Like,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they're in.
No, Enforcer to me is much beefier than a
Yeah.
DD3, but it'll fight the wind. Yeah. So that's my bag, and then I have other various goodies like chalk bags and
Sure.
that kind of stuff in there. Rangefinder.
Yeah. It's, and I think both of us do this, but for me, I pull things in and out of my bag based on where I'm going and tournaments I'm playing in, but also just I'm just not feeling that disc for a little while. Like something goes wrong with me, and it's me. It's not the disc. It's me. But I just pull it out of my bag, or it's something that's just entirely like I used to carry Rivers, St. Pros, FDs, and like I used to carry about 3 of basically the same mold.
Yeah.
I just take them out.
Right.
Like I just, because it confused me. Then I had too many choices. So I've really simplified a lot of the stuff. And if I don't have a disc that shapes the shot that I want to, then I rely on angles at that point. So yeah, but it's fun. So
It is. Yeah, like I used to throw like a pretty lightweight river, but then I started throwing FDs as well. And I was like, well, this feels like the same disc, but I just like the feel of the FD.
right, and I do too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I tried the Maverick for a little while, and it just didn't jive with me.
It was too non-committal for me.
Yeah.
Like there was sometimes it wanted to be stable and sometimes it didn't.
Yeah.
And it was strange. And I know that's completely me. It's probably off axis or whatever it is that I'm doing. But I feel like I would throw it on such a great line and it would just continue to ride right.
Yeah.
And then there are other days I'd throw it on the same line and it would dump.
Sure.
And you're just like, man, it was weird. But that was just me. And I only ever threw the first run.
Oh,
So
okay.
I never threw any stock run Mavericks. I only ever threw the first run.
Interesting. Did
So-
I thought you threw like the Melverick, like the Lucid
Oh, I
X
did
or
the Lucid X Maverick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Zach Melton Maverick. I had that in my bag, but I didn't throw it very often.
Okay.
Because it was significantly more stable. So not significantly, but it was more stable.
Yeah.
And the FD set solidly in that spot.
Yeah.
So it's going to be very hard to push those FDs out of my bag.
Yep.
Like there's no other disc right now that even comes close to it. Maybe the Dong Rebel, but
Yeah.
it's an FD.
It is.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So those are our bags. And if we change any discs, we're probably not going to tell you about them. So assume that's what we have in our bag. And if not,
There might be something. You never know. There might be a release or something.
oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we get excited about something and change something out, we'll definitely let you know. But outside of that, hope you enjoyed it and hope you like these little shorts. We're going to try to do them on random off topics. They may not even be disc golf related,
Yeah.
but we'll talk about something and who knows, it'll maybe be about using the restroom on the course
Yeah, could be.
and what's the most appropriate way to do so. Backstory behind that, we won't tell you. So have a good day and peace out.
Peace.